What is going on? Welcome back to the channel. So today is November the 28th. I want to give you a quick pre-market update, go over some of the hot movers and what big money is doing today. Before we get into any of that, make sure to hit that thumbs up. And with that, let's get right to it. Starting off with data, don't really have anything today at all. On a side note, today the market does close at 1 o'clock. So hopefully all the Americans out there had a good Thanksgiving and all the other fun jazz. But today, historically, we do see fairly low volume. It does appear as though that people's appetite for risk is increasing today. So I'll kind of go over that. Only thing that kind of came out was this. It's very vague. As per usual, anything that kind of Trump mentions is vague, but Trump did say that we may be cutting income tax almost completely because of tariff proceeds. So there's that, the whole stimulus check. So there's potentially a lot of money going to be pumped into the market if all these do come to fruition. So I think this is one attributing factor why the futures are green. Nothing significant though, so there's a certain level of hesitation, but Dow is up 0.17, S&P up 0.15, NASDAQ up 0.25. But right now we are still under the extreme fear category. And so in theory, people's appetite for risk isn't necessarily there, but very different story is being played out in the actual market. But getting right to it, SOFI is in the green, up 1.12%. They did put out news on Wednesday just saying that they're going to be participating in a AI conference, so UBS. So that's a good thing. I believe that is slated for December the 3rd, but so nothing really planned for today. And same with a lot of other companies. Don't anticipate any crazy news. Shorts are returning about 18,000 shares so far during the pre-market. 10.01% of the free floats being shorted, works it to be 118.5 million shares overall being shorted, with it at 28.83, trading between this pivot and this S1. So on the table, just watch for that 29.03 today. That'll be that key pivot. Best case scenario, SOFI closes above it. Yes, or I guess on Wednesday, the high was 29.25. So it does have good momentum for it to kind of do that. Just watch for 29.05 or 29.03 or whatever it was today. NIO is in the green, up 1.1%. And I think a lot of bullish ratings have come out since clearly Tuesday and Wednesday's somewhat red day. So that's kind of one thing that's really moving it higher. But we've seen a lot of manipulation with NIO in the past. Right now, you can kind of see, I did a dedicated video on my other YouTube channel just talking about kind of top 5 EV stocks that's being heavily shorted. NIO, I did not realize that there's a very clear sign of manipulation, of naked shorting, because there's about 109.74 million shares on loan, but 163 million shares being shorted. So math isn't really mathing for that. Pre-market, shorts are returning about 28,000 shares, 11.6% of the free float is being shorted. So as per usual, shorts are going to be fairly active. So just kind of watch for that. With it at 552, trading between this S2 and this S3. So 544 is going to be a strong support. 611 is going to be the next strong target. I don't see that being hit, at least for possibly up until like mid next week. That's best case scenario. But for today, as long as they could stay above 544, that's kind of the big thing. Aside from that, CleanSpark is moving up 4.09% during the pre-market. No news, no SEC filings. They had a very nice V-shaped recovery, and what really prompted that was their earnings. So hats off to those individuals that did buy in the kind of sub $10 range. That's pretty epic. But shorts are returning about 23,000 shares. 32.5% of the free floats being shorted, works to be 80.4 million shares overall being shorted. Right now with it at 14.05, it is trading between this S1 and this S2. So 12.77 and then 14.98 is going to be the next strong support and resistance points. Most likely neither of them will be touched today, in my opinion. So just kind of watch for that over the next couple trading days. The next two stocks are very interesting. And so this one, I believe, is the second or third most heavily traded during the pre-market, and that is ticker SMX. I did bring this one up. If you look at the chart, it's horrific. It's down 99.89%. Over the last 5 days, though, up 491%. So this stock is definitely making a name for itself. There hasn't really been that much in crazy news, though. So as per usual, for those of you that like to watch my channel, you know instantly if you have these types of red flags, you pop over to dilution tracker just to see the level of dilution or whatever else is there, whether that be through preferred, convertible notes, or just warrants. And this stock has a lot of warrants and a lot of convertible notes. So as crazy as it might sound, a lot of this is probably last ditch effort of dilution, and then because of just abnormal volume, you are seeing retail jump all over this stock. Nothing wrong with that at all, because you can make a lot of money just riding the dilution wave higher, not just with this stock but many stocks. So this one, again, no crazy news that has come out like today. You did have a little bit on, I guess, Wednesday, but quite a lot in fact on Wednesday, but still that's probably, there's a lot of dilution in there as well. So for Wednesday's news did kind of help it go up 194%, but still, like I said, just do your own due diligence and be cautious. 19.24% of the free floats being shorted, works to be 14,000 shares. So given that, and seeing right here, it looks like shorts are going to be fairly active as per usual, so they're trying to slow it down, and rightfully so, with it at 32.81, trading between this pivot and this S1. So very wide gaps because the stock's been very volatile. Plus, for reverse stock splits, they are going for kind of a record. So November the 18th was their last one. Prior to that was October the 23rd, and then August the 7th. So this stock, unless you are a experienced trader, I personally think that it might be advantageous just to avoid, or just again ride it. But I personally, even though this is up 400 something percent in a short time span, this is not a home run by any means. And then conveniently, speaking of kind of another speculative stocks, this stock is the most heavily traded during the pre-market and is down 99.97%. So ticker ADTX sitting at 314, up 26%. So again, without any actual news or any SEC filings today, you pop over to dilution tracker just to take a look, and this stock does have a lot of warrants as well as a lot of convertible notes that have not been fully utilized. So in general, a lot of once, like I said, even if it's outside of these stocks, if you ever have a kind of a gut feeling or a warning, pop over to dilution tracker, and you don't even need to pay. You can just see if they have it and if it's been fully utilized. If you want the additional details, yeah, you can sign up for premium, but I don't even have that, so it's not really necessary. But shorts are returning about 85,000 shares with this stock. 1.14% of the free floats being shorted, works to be 6,000 shares. So shorts won't be that active in my opinion today, and it looks like they are returning most of the stock, and that could be one attributing factor why they are in the green this morning as much as they are. Right now with that 401 though, it is trading between this R1 and the pivot. So if you're wanting to day trade, swing trade, 343 and then 258 as support levels, 428, 480 as next strong target / resistance points. So let me know your thoughts on these stocks. Like I said, the market does close early today at 1 o'clock Eastern, I believe. And so yeah, with all that, I appreciate all of you guys watching. One final thing, pop over to my stacked account. I just lowered a lot of the tiers as well as the pricing. So if you're looking for some solid on-point day trades, swing trades, worthwhile to kind of pop over there and check that out. With all that said, appreciate all of you watching.